Hello everyone. Interesting, pretty interesting indeed, isn't it? So the Innobu's A350 was taking a million years to load, and that was because since our SIM update 6 was released, I had to clear the whole WASM. So when you clear the whole WASM file, everything goes away. So every time you load a new aircraft, everything has to load from the start. So that took like I think 20 minutes ish thereabout before it finally loaded. But we are here now, guys. We are here. Bienvenue à bord, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see over here. Let's see. I'm trying to move a second, guys. Oops. So you are all welcome aboard. Today is a very special day because this has been in the works for a very, very long time. And how did I get here? How did this even happen? I'll give you guys a backstory, but let me try and pull it up. Shall I? 1 second. There we go. Why are we not? Why is it not coming up? What is happening? Hold on, people. I'm not sure what is. The devil is a liar, isn't it? I'm not sure what is happening right now. I had all of this set up already before I even went live, so I'm not exactly sure what is happening. Interesting. It's refusing to come up on the This is so weird. Wow. Just wow. There you go. There you go. All right. Well, I don't know what the hell happened, but we are here. Welcome all of you guys. Let me see if we might have to do an actual flight from Amsterdam to London Heathrow. I probably should connect to VATSIM, right? There's VATSIM online, so while we hold on, guys, let me quickly connect to VATSIM so we can do an actual flight and sort of almost a live experiment, actually. So let me quickly go find the flight plan on VATSIM, then we'll begin with a backstory of how we got here and how this all began and how long we've been doing this. Okay, that is I think Amsterdam is online. Yes, yeah, online. Departure and controls online. There you go. So Amsterdam is online. Let me get it filter so the game capture audio is not 1 second, guys. Apologies. So many things are not going as as I want them to go. But it's okay. We'll just control the volumes for now. So today's video is all about Groundnav, right? This is if you've been with us for a long time. Hold on, let me reduce. I think the audio is clipping. Let me try and fix that. Let's put an audio limiter so we'll not be getting clipping anymore. Right, so they should be online now. Let's get the radios on here, so we'll be getting some of the. We'll need to get the audio into OBS actually, so let's put that in.
Air France 21 Kilo Echo, descent altitude 3000 feet, QNH 1002.
Descent 3000 feet, QNH 1002, Air France 21 Kilo Echo.
KLM 7622, runway 24, clear for takeoff. The wind is 280 degrees, 6 knots.
Clear takeoff runway 24, KLM 7622, sorry.
Okay, audio input capture. Okay. All right. All right, that's more like it. That's more like it. So let's begin fully now. Groundnav, how did we get here? If you've been with us for a long time, for those that have been with us for a long time, I used to fly with Volanta, right, which is popular, owned by Obex now, and I always felt, you know, there was something missing. Yes, there was the stream overlay, and you know there were some of the features they offered, but there was a lot that was left to be desired using Volanta, right? And you know, it's a great product. You know, there's no doubt about that, especially the fact that they are offering some of the things for free. So it's a great product, and certainly it's a great starting point for sure, no doubt about that. But there was still something missing about it. Hold on, let me do something with the audio so that we have better. One second, guys. Apologies. So Volanta is great. We've been using it for a while, and it's wonderful. But there has been a lot was left to be desired. So I set out on a journey to sort of make something I wanted to use. This started originally as something personal, something I wanted to do for myself, not something, you know, that was ever going to be public or that was ever going to be, you know, out there into the world. It started strictly as a personal me thing. So I started, and one of the first people that knew about it was Kano. And he was the one that got the first sample of what it looked like and what it was going to be. And from there on, stuff's, you know, getting added, because he made me understood something. He probably didn't know this, but the first The first skeleton I made of the Groundnav app were things that honestly already existed. And something he made me understand, probably unknowingly to him, was if you're going to make something, then you should really do something different, something that is not, because there really is no sense if you're making something that already exists. You know, what market are you trying to come into? What are you building for? So I went back to the drawing board and I looked at all of the things that were missing that I wish I had that did not exist, and even those that existed that were still missing so many features. What is the solution? How can we solve this? And also, there are so many things. If you want to fly the sim and you want to get any sort of real immersion, you have to be running anywhere from 2, 3, 4, 5 different apps at the same time to be able to really get some features. And so, and running all those different apps and doing all those different things, they all eat into the RAM, into the VRAM and other stuff. So it was crucial and important to make something that wasn't just functional but also lightweight. So more stuff started getting added, but the focus and attention turned to things that didn't really exist, things that were not out there. And we started adding stuff. Of course, there were always going to be challenges, but today I am proud to tell you guys that we built something that I can confidently say there are things that has some parts of it, but not to the extent and to the depth that we took everything we have, every feature we have in Groundnav 2. It is a tool that, and it is a tool that is so great. It was also built around sort of mirroring how things happen in the real world. A good example is landing rates. If you've been around, most of you have been around, simulation and stuff, and most people think that a good landing is actually when you get minus 50 feet per minute. Most people think when you get minus 50 feet per minute, that is a greaser, that is an amazing landing. But actually, according to the real world standards, that is actually not a good landing. That is actually a terrible landing. And I know that is sounding a little insane, but let me explain. There are spoilers. There are auto brake systems that gets deployed automatically when you touch ground. But for those things to get deployed automatically, there is a certain level of weight that the tires need to feel before those things can get deployed. In the real world, if you land at minus 50 feet per minute, the gears or the tires are not going to feel the force required to trigger the spoilers or the auto brake systems. So actually, minus 50 feet per minute is really not a good landing, right? So everything we did, everything we built, we did extensive research to make sure it aligns with real world standards and real world, how it happens. And there's a lot in the Groundnav app, and we are going to start. Let's go to the menu page. This is a good place to start. This is, every time you get a new application, this is the very first place you want to go to is the settings page. And I see the questions. I see the questions where to buy. It's not ready yet. This is just an introduction. It will be ready sometime next week. It's currently not ready. This is just presenting the product and telling you guys about it and how to navigate and its settings. So we are going to start in the settings page. This is the settings page. Usually when you are logging in, you are going to be, of course, you are going to be asked for your SimBrief username. There is a lot of connections here. So SimBrief username, DeepGram API. This DeepGram API, you can ignore this for now. This is for a feature that is still coming up, perhaps later in the future. So you can leave that for now. This checks wherex API key. This is, you don't really need this if you are someone that flies only in the US and Europe. You don't need it. But if you want to have full meta and full weather information all over the world, in Africa, in Asia, wherever you are, you need to go get a key, and it is free. You just click here, it will take you to the page, you sign up, you confirm your email, and you go get an API key, you paste it in here, and then you get global, meta and, weathers. Skylink API, this is also for live NOTAMs. You can go on their website, you click on it, you apply, and then they do like mostly 50 free spots every month or thereabout, so there's a good chance you would get accepted. But what it does is it simply gives you live NOTAMs. But if you don't have to use it, you can also get NOTAMs from SimBrief. You can get these SimBrief NOTAMs. So, but this is for those that are real world sticklers, people that want exactly real world. I want it how it works in real world. That is what this is for. And then of course there is a VATSIM, there is your iVow, and then there is Discord if you want. For the network, it will auto detect automatically, so you can leave it on auto, but if you want, you can click on anyone you want. And then there is the map. There are different type of maps you can choose from, and because this application was built by a simmer, I understand the importance of customization, being able to customize and having control over how things look. So there is a lot of customization. Almost everything is customizable, down to the colors of how you want them to look. So we have 5 different types of maps to choose from. The airport diagram, so the taxiways, how they look. If you want it technical and if you want it in schematics, you can choose it. VATSIM labels. This is to show, of course, the VATSIM on the world map, obviously, and then there is a PCAS approximity. So this is basically a TCAS. So on the world map, if an aircraft is getting close to you, or if they're getting too close, and if the headings are the same, basically, if there's a chance there's going to be a collision, that is what this PCAS proximity alert does. It will notify you on the world map. And this is also available on the mobile app, which we'll come back to much later. Then there is a top of descent alert. When you are 50 nautical miles or thereabouts to your top of descent, you would get, there will be a beep on your computer, it will continue beeping until you physically click it to stop. Then it also knows where you are supposed to step climb. A while ago, I was streaming and somebody was flying from, I think it was Hong Kong to Los Angeles. And they flew and they kept flying without step climbing. So because the job of a step climb is to help you save fuel, they did not step climb, right? What happened? They ran out of fuel before they got to their destination. So the job of this, it will alert you when you get to a place where you are supposed to step climb. It will let you know it is time to step climb, so you can save fuel. This is flight save and resume autosave. What this does is, this is not ready yet, but I expect it to be ready before the app goes public. But what it does is it basically does the same thing that the inbuilt autosave does in the aircraft. So it is recording everything, you know, all of the states of the aircraft. So if you have a crash to desktop or the power goes out or something happens, you can load back the SIM, load back the Groundnav app, and it will detect the crash to desktop or if something happens. So when you load back, you would get an alert somewhere here. You will get an alert asking if you want to resume. Then you just click it. Then it will take you to the point where the crash to desktop or whatever happened or the power went out. But it is off right now because it is not ready yet. I mean, it works, but during the saving phase, it causes a freeze. So it is not ready yet. Then this is if you want to show the waypoint labels on the map. You know, when the plan is loaded, which again, when we get to the front page, I will show you all of that. But what this does is, if you want to show the waypoints, there's going to be a flight path that will be drawn on the map. If you want the waypoints to be available on the map as well, that is what this does. Then this is self-explanatory. Oceanic tracks and packets. Then there is holdings. Every airport, when you are approaching, ATC can tell you to hold, at a certain point. All of that is, of course, available on the map and also on the aircraft. But on the world map itself, you can enable it, and when you are getting close to the airport, wherever you are, you'll be getting the the holding information. When you click on it, it's enabled now. So when we go to the front page, I'll show you guys what it does. It will tell you if it's the right turn and how many, the expected speed and altitude at that holding point. That is what this does. And then again, back to customization, the traffic colors. What color you want your aircraft to be, the VATSIM traffic on the map, you can choose what colors you want them to be, the IVAL traffic as well. You can choose what colors you want them to be. Then AI traffic, this would be anything else on the map. If you inject traffic using maybe beyond ATC or any other traffic, you can choose what color you want them to be, but there will be no need for beyond ATC because Groundnav has its own traffic injection. Then GN traffic. This is the multiplayer. So imagine you are flying on Volanta, right? And at any given time, when you're flying on Volanta and you spawn into an airport, you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably 10 other people flying on Volanta. But you can only see them on the map. But with Groundnav, you can actually see them in the same. If you are parked side by side at the gate, their aircraft, their livery, everything would be spawned basically like VATSIM. The same way you see other traffic on VATSIM, that is every Groundnav traffic, every fellow Groundnav user that is with you at the same airport would be spawned in, and you are actually able to see them in the same. And then more customization for the map display. The airport ICAO labels, you can choose what colors you want them to be. The taxiway lines, you can choose what colors you want them to be. The taxi route line as well, you can choose what colors you want them to be. Now this the launch zoom. What this does is when you load the Groundnav app, how close to your aircraft do you want the camera to get? That is what this is for. And then when you take off, it has how far do you want the map to zoom out. And this is automatic. So when the takeoff phase is triggered, it will zoom out. The map would automatically zoom out. So you have control on how much you want it to go. You can go as far as 500 kilometers, but I have mine at 10. Landing as well is the same. When you land, the map would zoom back in onto your aircraft automatically. And this control here is how much you want it to zoom back in. So I left it to be the same with the launch zoom and the landing zoom. And then we continue. At any given time when you are flying, some people want to, like myself, when I'm making the videos for the channel, I record the flights so I can make replays, right? That is how I get the landing replays, the external replays, and all of that stuff. But the issue with that is maybe really not an issue, but it's more of a convenience. But the thing with that is you have to manually go start recording and manually stop recording. So Groundnav has a feature where it will record all of that for you automatically. And you can set it up on when it should start recording. You can turn it off, of course, but you can have it start recording at pushback. When the pushback phase of the flight is triggered, it will start recording. And if you have it on taxi, if you have it on takeoff, whatever phase of the flight you take, the clips will start recording automatically. And then you also have to tell it when it will stop recording. So it could be, again, you can have it turned off, it could be on climb out, and it could be at cruise. When you get to the cruise phase of the flight, it will stop recording. And you can also go and stop recording manually as well. Then the same for the arrival. You can have it on and you can have it set at descent, the approach, or the landing phase. Whatever you set it to here, when that phase of the flight triggers, the app will automatically start recording. So when you can always come back to it to replay it much later. The arrival clip, when you want it to stop as well. Do you want it to stop in the landing phase, during the taxi in, or when you get to the gate? As always, whatever you choose, it does this for you. It records your flights for you automatically. And then there is the measurement units, which is the metrical and the imperial. Then privacy. Groundnav has, you know how you have friends. Most of you have friends on Volanta, but that is about it. There is you can't talk to your friends. You can't, and none of that stuff. Groundnav has a messaging system. Everybody, any friend you have on Groundnav, you can actually chat with your friends. So you are not just adding friends that for the sake of having friends. You can actually communicate with your friends on Groundnav. So they are really your friends, right? And there are some options here. There's public, friends only, and private. What this does is it is asking you if you want to accept messages from just your friends, or you want to accept messages from everyone. This is what this functionality is here. Again, you can send a message to any Groundnav user, an actual chat, right? And again, when we get to the front page, I will show you what the chat interface looks like. But you can actually communicate, you can actually chat with your friends, and you have the option of accepting messages from everyone or accepting messages from just people that are actually your friends. Then there is the aircraft lock location. What does this do? Again, the idea behind Groundnav is to mirror real-world operations, how things work and how things function in the real world. In the real world, if you're a pilot, you fly from London to New York, you can't spawn in Hong Kong and fly the same aircraft from Hong Kong to back to London, right? When you land in New York, you have to fly that aircraft physically out of New York to either London, to either back in London or anywhere else. So what this aircraft location log does is it tracks every plane you fly. It knows where you landed. It knows the gate you parked at. If you fly an aircraft, say you fly a British Airways A350, 1000 with the registration XWBC from London to New York, right? When you land in New York, it knows you've flown that plane to New York, and New York is your last location. If you try to fly that same plane, if you try to spawn, let's say in London again, to do a flight to Dubai with the same plane, it will not allow you. It will tell you the plane you're about to fly is in New York. So you have to go back to New York, fly it out of New York, or you can come and turn it off. If you are not a stickler for realistic operations and you just want to have fun, you don't want to have to go through all that, you can come and turn it off. Yeah. But if you are someone that's you like realism and you like things to work the way they normally would in real life, it is on by default. So that is what this does. The same thing for the VA. There is a VA system, by the way, in Groundnav, and just in the same way, if you are flying, if you are part of a virtual airlines and you land at any airport, you have to physically fly the plane out of that airport before you can't just land with a specific aircraft at one airport and then spawn it somewhere else. It has to be flown out of that place automatically. And then there is this screenshots. Groundnav helps capture screenshots automatically. Currently, it's just the internal screenshots of the cockpit, but I'm making research and efforts is in place to see how we can make it possible to get external screenshot as well. It is quite difficult to do. I mean, there's a way to do it, but there will be like a bleep, when you're flying. And as someone that flies a lot, I don't know if I want to, when I'm landing, I want my screen to go, go black, for like 1 second while I'm trying to land. So currently, there's no way to do it without the screen going, black for like 1 or 2 seconds. But internally, it works great. So it will capture screenshots for you automatically, and every single phase of the flight is covered. At the gates, taxi out, climb out, step climbs. No, let me start again. At the gate, at the pushback, taxi out, take off, climb out, during the cruise, during the step climb, during the descent, during the approach, landing, taxi in, or go around. So any phase of this flight where it is your favorite to get screenshot or to capture screenshots, you can choose how many. It is currently 1 to 5, or you can have it turned off. If you guys want it to be more, we can certainly increase it, but it's currently 1 to 5. Mine currently, I have takeoff at 3. So during takeoff, I want just 3 screenshots. And during landing, I want it to take 5 screenshots. And there are intervals. There is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 seconds. What this does is, if you choose 5, for example, I have takeoff 3 and landing 5, right? If I choose 5, it means every 5 seconds it will take a screenshot if I am at the takeoff phase. And when I'm landing, every 5 seconds it will take a screenshot until it gets to the number I indicated, which is 5. After it has taken 5 screenshots, it will stop. You can choose 10, you can choose 15, you can choose 20, and then you can choose 25, and then you can also choose 30, right? 20. This 25, what it does is every 25 seconds, when the takeoff phase of the flight is triggered, it will take screenshots. It will take the first one, then it will wait for 25 seconds, it will take another one. And during landing as well, when the landing phase of the flight is triggered, it will take screenshots every 5 seconds, and this is automatically. And every screenshot is taken, and you have the option at the end of the flight. You have the option to review which ones you want to keep and which ones you do not need. And we'll get to it later. There's a gallery where all of the screenshots are saved, and anyone that you save and you keep will be uploaded to the cloud, so you can always retrieve it. And then there is the show screenshot pins on the map. If you want to see when screenshots were taken on the map, you can enable this. Share my screenshot with other pilots. If you want other pilots to see your screenshot, if you want other Groundnav pilots to see your screenshots so they can vote, so they can, like it and, vote it as a favorite, you can toggle this on. And then there is the keep newest. What this does is, it's currently off right now, but what it does is it will auto delete older screenshots. So when your screenshot count, again, either is from 100, 250, 500, or 1000. If you choose 100, what it does is when you have 100 screenshots, after 100, 101, 102, it will start deleting the old ones, right? So it is important to, after a flight, you go to save your screenshots. And again, there is a view gallery here. So if you click this, it will show you all of your screenshots. And every screenshot, shows there's a tag of the phase. Like this one, this is during the takeoff phase, right? And there's a toggle where if you click on keep, clicking on keep will upload it to the cloud. So you are to come and review the screenshots that are good, the ones that you like, and then the ones that you like, all you have to do is click on keep, and then it will be uploaded and saved to the cloud, right? And you can click on review, and then you can do it in more multiple and faster way. And then there's the application starts with Windows. What this does is you guys are familiar with the add-on linker, right? Groundnav also has an add-on linker, except the difference is Groundnav's own is more automatic. So just like the normal add-on linker, you point it to a folder where your stuffs are and where they are all saved, and it will automatically detect your installation folder anyway. So every time, because it has your SimBrief name already, right? So every time you make a flight plan on SimBrief, it will pick it up in less than 5 seconds. So it will disable everything and will enable the things that are needed for your specific plan. If you indicate an actual aircraft registration in SimBrief, what it will do is it will dig into your liveries and it will activate just that livery. But if you proceed with the general registration from SimBrief, whatever aircraft you choose, it will activate every livery for the airline you chose for that aircraft. We'll get to it. This is GN Radio. What this does is not only can you see your fellow Groundnav users in the same live, you can also communicate with them. So you can tune to 122.8 and you can talk to anyone at the same airport within a 60 nautical miles range. And there is another frequency 12345, right? That is for people that are flying carrier mode and virtual airlines to communicate with each other. So that is what this is for. So you can come to the hardware and set up, you know, the key, or you could use your keyboard. And this is the stream overlay. The thing you guys see when I'm streaming, you know, I get asked a lot, what are you using? This is it. It comes with the app. You can change, there is customization, you can choose different colors, and of course have it talk to start with Groundnav, and then it will run automatically. Then there is the table and kneeboard. This is not ready yet, but the purpose of this is for VR users to be able to navigate and run and operate Groundnav also. So this is for VR, but it's not ready. Well, I mean, the architecture has been built, but I haven't tested it really because I don't have VR, so I have to find a way to get VR for that. And then all of your data from Volanta, Elevatex, SimKit 2 Pro, whatever, you can import those into Groundnav. It's pretty simple. You can import them into Groundnav, and then all of your data would be synchronized. Traffic models. What this does is, this is for your fellow Groundnav. Again, remember how I said you can see your fellow Groundnav user, right? They are auto-injected. So if you have FSLTA or AIG or FS traffic installed in your community folder, just click on this. It will scan all of those models. That is how it is able to, if people are, let's say you are at London and you are flying a British Airways A380 and another Groundnav user spawns in and they're flying a British A350. Groundnav will be able to spawn them with the British Airways A350 British Airways livery. So you will see them in the same as a British Airways A350. So this scans the models, be it FS traffic or AIG or FSLTL, and then that is what it uses. Then the airport database. This also will scan every airport in your community folder. That is how it is able to get the layouts, the gates, the taxiways, the runways, and all other stuff. So you do this just one time. You are advised, the first time you load Groundnav, you are advised to enable every airport using the add-on linker, the smart add-on linker. So it will scan every airport in your community folder and it will build a database of those airports. You have to do it just one time, right? Just one time. After doing it one time, after doing it the first time, you can disable everything and then it will be working normally. And then this is a diagnostic login. What this does is, if you enable it, it is off by default. But if you enable it, what it will do is, when you launch Groundnav and when Groundnav is running, it will look at everything. It is monitoring everything. So if there's an issue, any issue that happens, anything that does not work as it should, it is logged and saved. So if you have a complaint that something didn't work well, or something didn't work as it should, I will ask you to go to the folder where the login was saved. So you would include the login along with a complaint. That way it will be easier to recreate the issue instead of I having to redo it, try to recreate the problems on my end, right? And this is for elevation profile. You go to this link or this website. It is off now. I'll try to make it clickable so you guys can just click on it and it will take you to the website. But it is for if you're flying into mountainous terrain, you are able to look at, you know, your how far your aircraft or how close your aircraft is to the terrain. That is what this does. And then this is what explain. Explain is currently about 75% compatible, but we are trying to make it at least 95 by the time Groundnav launches. But you can point it to your explain folder, click on install plugin, and then this will help it be compatible with explain. And of course, these are the change logs and the fixes that are made. So that is that about the settings page. Now let's proceed to the next one, which is the linker. This is the Groundnav Smart Linker, the add-on linker I was talking to you guys about. As you can see, it is working, and it shows my departure, my destination, my aircraft type, and the registration. And what it will do is it will go into your folder, and it will enable just the specific things you need, for this flight, right? This is the vault. Actually, let's go to the settings. So here you will automatically, it will automatically detect your community folder, right? You don't have to do anything. It will detect it automatically. If you have 2020, 2024, it will detect it. If it does not detect it, you can of course, you know, show it where it is, but most of the time it will 100% detect your community folder. And then you can point it to the different folders where your, hold on guys. You can point it to the folders by clicking and, you know, adding the vault. If you choose, hold on, okay. I think this is a little, this is a little better. So you can click add vault. What's the function of this is to point it to the folder where your files are, where your liveries, where your sceneries, where your aircrafts, if there is any, is on. And then you can apply, you can click on auto reapply on rescan. It will be scanning those folders every single time. Like I said, it does this automatically. So you have to do this just one time. And every folder or every vault that you add, you have to click and let it know if it's a 2020 or a 2024 folder. So when you are flying again, if you're flying in 2024 or 2020, it knows which version of the sim you are flying. So when you make a sim brief, if the aircraft or the livery or the scenery is available in 2020 and 2024, because it does not know which of the sim you'll be flying, it will activate it on both. But if you have just 2024 or if you have just 2020, it will activate it on just the one. Okay. And then yeah, you can have it on the how it works. The instructions on how to do it is down here, so you can just, you know, click on it. You can just follow it step by step. There are instructions on how to do it, and then you can just proceed. I'm gonna have this toggle back on, and then you go to the vault. So if your folders are organized, if you have your folders organized, for example, you have a folder for liveries, and in the liveries folder there are subfolders that is for maybe A380 or A350s or 777 or 787s, which contains A380 liveries or A350 liveries, it will go to read those subfolders, and it will make those subfolders. It will make them subfolders automatically, just as you can see here. You can see an A350 here. There's an A380 and liveries. So it will go in and make those subfolders as well, exactly as it is in your sim. But if you have everything in just one folder, all of the sceneries, all the aircraft, all the liveries, and all of these sound packs, everything else, if everything else is in one folder and they are not organized, what it will do is it will go into the folders and the subfolders, and it will actually read the files in the folders so that it can differentiate which of the files are aircraft, which ones are liveries, and which ones are sceneries and stuff. So if your folders are not organized, it will go in and read the files, and then from reading the files, it will automatically organize the files for you inside of the Groundnav app. So it will separate the airports, the liveries, the aircraft, the scenery, and every other thing. But it is not going to be 100%. There are some files that are going to confuse it. So it might mistake, for example, if you have the Boris 777 sound pack or sound set, it might confuse it for an aircraft, right? So it might put it in the aircraft category, but it will do a good job. It will do a good job of up to 90 to 95%. So the remaining 10 to 5%, you have to go into each, like for example, if you come into liveries and you see something that is not a livery, there is a pencil icon right here, right on each one. Okay, there's a pencil icon. You can click on it, okay, and then it will show you the categories. So if it made a mistake and put something in a livery category and the thing is supposed to be maybe an aircraft or an airport, you just click on the correct category and it will move it. But it will do a good job 90 to 95% of the time. So there are liveries, there are aircrafts, there are orders. Now, if you see on orders, everything here is currently enabled. This always on. There's an always on toggle here. What this does is you can choose to have things like sound packs. If you have sound packs, if you have jetway fixes, if you have realism mods, if you have things of that nature, some add-ons that will enhance maybe light mods or things of that nature. Anyway, those are things that needs to always be on, right? Because those things are not airports, they are not liveries, they are not aircrafts. It is not going to know to activate a 737 pack automatically by itself. So you are advised to come and toggle things that you want to always be on, right? So that is what the order is. But for the aircrafts, it knows every aircraft. It knows your aircrafts. It knows your liveries. It knows all of your airports. And the things that are activated, everything is all here, right? Now, Groundnav is not just a tool for flying. It is also something that I want to say there is nothing in flight sim that does quite what it does. We have a library. Okay, this is not done, but it will be done by the time the app. It will be done by the time the app goes live. We have a library. What does this library do? What is it? The Groundnav library is, these are books that real-world pilots read in real life. You know, so every person going through pilot training, you know, all of the books, everything they read, you know, at least the theoretical part of everything a real-world pilot goes through is all here. So every book here is what a real-world pilot reads to become a pilot. So all of the journey, everything they go through, the real of this. These are from the FAA, directly from the FAA, you know, word for word, right? And it is free, and it's a public domain asset. So we just decided to put it in, and we brought it in because Groundnav also has a career mode. And again, the career mode is mirrored to real life. Okay, so most career modes, not most, every career mode app right now out there is you get in, you fly a couple flights, you gather some XP points, and then you buy a plane, and then you start flying. That is what every career mode application out there does right now. We took a different approach. Again, our approach is going to be more, you could say, strenuous, but it is the reward approach mirrored. Meaning, every step that a reward pilot goes through is the same step you are going to go through in the Groundnav career mode. So reward pilots get interviews, they get asked questions, they go through a lot of things. Those questions you are going to get asked, and actually it will do you a lot of good if you come and actually study, because some of the questions you are going to get asked in the career mode are all inside of here. Although we have a more condensed version of this library for career mode that is more simpler and much shorter. So if you read that one, you are able to understand some basic things. So when you get the questions, or when you write an exam, if you want to fly for Emirates, if you want to fly for British Airways, you will go through a gruesome, strenuous step through the whole employment pipeline. So this is not ready, but it will be ready certainly before the app goes live. So this is everything pilots read, and you know, it is detailed. Just the introduction alone is a 22-minute read. The aeronautical decision making is 35 minutes. You know, aircraft construction 21 minutes. Principles of flight 20 minutes. Aerodynamics of flight 44 minutes. Flight controls 26 minutes of read. Aircraft systems 34 minutes. Flight instruments 30 minutes. Flight manuals and other documents 21 minutes. So this is basically everything real-world pilots read and study on their way to becoming a pilot, and it is all available here. Again, they are all not ready, but they certainly absolutely will be by the time the app is publicly available. That is that about the library. Now we move to the information page. This is one of the most... Say you come to the information page. There is airports, there is meta decode, there is flight plan, there is takeoff calculation, and there are charts. You can use chat fox or... So I tried to get the Navigap free API, and they refused. And their reason for refusing is our product is similar to theirs, which I don't think it is at all in any way. And even if it is, it sounds pretty anti-competitive. Even if we have the same product, that should not be a reason to deny someone a free API key. And by the way, it's not like their chart are going to be free anyway. It's people are still going to have to log in, to use their own Navigraph that they are paying for. But anyway, they refused. So we have ChatFox, and I am going to integrate the default Microsoft free chat as well by the time the app goes live. So there will be no need for Navigraph chat. But let's come back to the airport. Let's say you want to search for information about any airport. Let's go Amsterdam, where we are right now. If you click on Amsterdam, this is the information page. You get, it will read VATSIM. If VATSIM is online, it will use the VATSIM runway, and it will tell you if information Romeo is current right now. So that is what is actually currently available on VATSIM. All of the airport details and stats for Amsterdam is here. And if you look over here, you are seeing departures, arrivals. These are real-world departures and arrivals out of Amsterdam. And the data source for this will be updated every 3 to 6 months. But these are real-world flights. If you go to Amsterdam right now, or you go to flight radar 24, if you look at these flights, they are parked in Amsterdam right now. So every airport you search, you would get, depending on the day. Today is Wednesday, so it will show you the departures and arrivals out of that airport based on real-world schedules. And also for every airport, if VATSIM is online, you also get shown all of the departures and arrivals on VATSIM if VATSIM is online. And then you go further, you have full meta, full TAF. You have all of the runways and approach aids, all of the frequencies and the terminals and what aircraft uses those terminals. Right? So that is, I don't think there is any application out there that has this much detailed information on airports. So we are pretty happy to have this. And then of course there is the meta, the code, your flight plan, your current flight plan, the full flight plan, every single thing. These are the NOTAMs. These are the VATSIM NOTAMs. So if earlier we talked about NOTAMs and people wanting real-world NOTAMs, if you don't want to go through the stress of signing up for NOTAMs, you come in here and then you get everything. And then there is a takeoff calculator, and of course, like I said earlier, there is the charts. If you go to EGLA London right now, the same thing will show you information. Runway 27 right is current, information Delta is current. This is all from VATSIM, by the way. But if VATSIM is not online, it will go to look at what runway sim brief is suggesting. If the runway sim brief is suggesting aligns with the wind, it will go with it. If the runway sim brief is suggesting is different, is significantly different from the current wind, it will ignore that sim brief and it will choose the runway that is best aligned with the wind. So this is London again, detailed airport information. There is nothing out there that has this much detailed airport information. And then there is achievements. There are achievements, there are challenges, a lot of them, and many more are going to be added. And of course, Kano is the leader. Kano is a leader in in the challenges tab here. So there are challenges, there are achievements. All of these are going to be improved much more, and a lot more will be added for sure. Then we have a maintenance page. What is this? So again, Groundnav, like I've been saying, mirrors reward. There is a lot of emphasis on reward, right? Groundnav, every landing you make, every tail strike, every flight you make is being recorded, right? So the health of the aircraft are being recorded. If you have a hard landing, all of that is being recorded. So basically, this is the hangar. Groundnav has a wear and tear functionality. So when you fly your aircraft, every time the APU inspection, the brakes, the fuel filter, all of that is being taken, and this is all mirrored towards real life. So there is a certain amount of hours you are able to fly a plane before you need to take a look at the brakes, or the engine oil, or the hydraulic fluid, or inspect the APU. So based on how many hours you've flown a particular plane, when the threshold hits, the aircraft will be decommissioned and it will find itself in the hangar. And you, as the owner of the aircraft, you are going to be obligated to come to the hangar and click an actual button that will begin a repair on that aircraft. Whatever the issue is, if it's an APU, if it's an engine oil change, if it's an hydraulic fluid change, whatever it is, you'll be obligated to come here and begin a fix on the aircraft. And whatever amount of time it takes in the real world is the same amount of time to take here. If it's something that takes 2 days to get done in the real world, it will take 48 hours before the aircraft will be ready to fly again. Now, every Groundnav user has a profile, and that takes us to the profile page. Every user in Groundnav has a profile page. This is your own personalized profile page. All of your flights, how many airlines you've flown, how many aircrafts you've flown, and how many hours you've flown them, airports you've flown in and out of the most, how active you are every month, your average landing, how many passengers you've flown, total nautical miles you've flown, how much fuel you've burned. All of this, by the way, if you import your data from Volanta or whatever, it will count towards all of this. So everything here is including all of my Volanta files and folders as well. And then if your friends are online, you see your friends that are online on this side of things. And there is a dedicated, this is just the overview of everything that is happening in your world. And here there is the flight tab. What is the flight tab? The flight tab is every flight you've made, everywhere you've flown, every flight you've made, everywhere you've flown. The flight path, as you see, is drawn on the maps. They're all on the map. It is all on the map. Everything is on the map. So you get everything. This again, this includes. There are most of these are from Volanta. Most of these are from Volanta. So there's a lot. There's 123 flights. So I haven't done that much on Groundnav. So most of these are also from Volanta. So every flight you make or every flight you've made is shown here with a rating. It gives you a total rating. That is what you have here, and there's a share card. This share card is something you can click on share. You can download it onto your computer, or you can share it directly on any of the apps here, or you can just copy the link directly. the social media share is working already, but the copy link will make sure that it's functional before we go live. Then you have a full debrief of every flight you've flown. You come and click on the full debrief. You get a full debrief of the flight. This one I did, I think it was the day before yesterday or yesterday. When was this? Let me see. Yeah, on the 18th. It was on the 18th of August. So a lot of people are more concerned about arrival rating and stuff, but we also do departure ratings. So the state of your beacon, the state of the lights, your taxi speed, all of that stuff, your flaps, all of that is taken into account, right? So this is your departure, and this is your arrival analysis. So your G-force. So if you see, this is a rate of 142 feet per minute. For most people, they would think 142 is a hard landing, but actually for the 777, it's a pretty good landing according to real world standards. Because like I said earlier, for the auto brakes and spoilers to deploy, there is a certain amount of weight that needs to go onto the tires for those things to deploy. So if you're landing with 50 feet per minute, that is not enough force. In the real world, the auto brakes and spoilers would not deploy if you land at 50 feet per minute. So there is a database. Now, 142 for the 777 is great, but 142 for an A320 may not be so great. 142 for a Cessna certainly is terrible. But so there is a database of what each aircraft is supposed, what the minimum and what the maximum is for each aircraft, right? So the heavier and the super aircrafts has more leniency because they are heavier, right? So they are able to accommodate more. But the G-force is really what matters. But in any case, your arrival analysis, it records everything: the impact stability, the landing stability, the center line, the bounce rate, and the touchdown speed. All of that stuff is recorded. And then we have a live fuel monitor. Most applications, Volanta for example, they monitor the fuel, but they only monitor it retroactively, meaning after the flight has landed, after the flight has ended. But Groundnav monitors your fuel from at the gate till you get to your arrival. So this is the fuel breakdown for this flight. It was from London to Amsterdam here, by the way, and the loaded fuel for the trip was 12.9 tons. Okay, but according to SimBrief, the planned was supposed to be 5,897 kilograms. But because Groundnav actually watches and monitors the actual fuel burn from the aircraft, what we actually used was 7.9 tons, not 5. And it tells you how much more fuel here. That is what you have here in variance. And of course you have the flight track, the altitude and the speed, and how long the flight was, obviously. And then this is the departure profile when we lift up and how smoothly the climb was. If it was a steep climb, of course it would go up and stuff, but it was a pretty smooth climb. And then the arrival, the approach arrival, because during the approach there was a lot of up and down and we were pretty high. That is why you have these delta waves. Okay, but at around 3,000 things stabilized. So it tracks the descent and approach profile more accurately at around 3,000, you know, down. At around 2,000, again, we became a little too low. We got a little too low. We descended a little too low because we're trying to meet up with the speed and, you know, trying to align. So we were a little lower than we should be at 2,000 feet. But as time went on, we eventually get to a phase of the phase of the approach where we should be at 2,000 feet, and then the approach continues. So it monitors and sees everything, and of course, it recorded that it was the runway 27 where we landed. And then, like I said earlier in the maintenance page, it is taking track of the gears, the brake assembly, the hydraulic fluids, the engine oil check, the APU. You see, it is recording everything. So for the main gears, it has 193 landing left. So if I fly this aircraft again, this specific aircraft again, right, these numbers will continue reducing and reducing. For the engine oil check, it has 27 hours left. So if I fly for another 25 hours, this would go from green to red. So if this ever hits red, this aircraft will be pushed to the hangar to be fixed and worked on. And then there is the fleet. There is the fleet tab. This is every aircraft you've flown. Now, most of these are from Volanta. So if you fly in Volanta, because Volanta does not record your gate and does not record, it does not know, has no idea of your the states where you parked and other stuff. It does not know. But any flight made with Groundnav, it knows the gate you parked at any airport. For example, look at this. This is a flight from London to Seattle. And it's pretty small, but you can see it has Seattle in green because Seattle is the last location of this aircraft. So currently, if I load this aircraft at London right now or anywhere in the world except from Seattle and I try to fly it, it will not let me. It will tell me that this aircraft is in Seattle and I need to fly it out of Seattle. And it says here it is parked at Seattle, and it even remembers the gate. The last parking was at gate Charlie 10 at Seattle. So every flight made in Groundnav has that information. It knows what gate you parked at, and this is another one. This is an Emirates A350, right? Dubai to Cape Town. And again, Cape Town is marked green. What this means is Cape Town is the last location where this aircraft Alpha 6 Echo Sierra Mike is parked at. I cannot fly this aircraft anywhere unless I go to fly it out of Cape Town. But of course, it can be disabled in the settings page. And this is it here. The aircraft lock location. This functionality here. This is what if this remains on. If you go to the fleets page and you go and try to fly any aircraft, you can't fly it out anywhere in the world unless you go to Cape Town and fly it out of Cape Town. And another cool thing about Groundnav is if you see that Cape Town is the last location, right? If you come up here, it will show you the departures out of the airport where the aircraft is. So currently, these are reward departures. These are reward departures out of Cape Town. If we go back to where is the anyway, let's just choose anyone. If we go back to currently this Qatar Airways 777, it has Singapore as the last location, right? If you come back here, these are reward departures out of Singapore for the next 30 minutes. it refreshes every 30 minutes. Every 30 minutes, it will refresh, right? So these are reward departures. So it is detailed. I've chosen another airport. This is Dubai to Mumbai. Okay, no, this is Dubai is the last location. And again, these you can see Fly Dubai, Emirates, and stuff. So it shows you departures wherever your aircraft is parked at. If you want to find out where the aircraft is parked at, you get to the departures from that. Is it currently live? It is not live in the sense that you can't go to you can't tell if they have departed or not, but they are reward flights. They are taken from reward and they are current, and the source is going to get updated every 3 to 6 months over the years. Okay, so every aircraft you fly, you have a fleet that has every single aircraft you fly, every single aircraft, and their last locations. Any aircraft you fly and you click on it, it will tell you, it will show you on the map the last location of that aircraft. Any aircraft at all. Dubai, if you come back here, Emirates A380, it's in Toronto. Any aircraft you fly, their last location is shown on the map. I'm pretty confident there is nothing out there. There is no application that does anything remotely close to this. And then there is a gallery. Now, every screenshot that is taken at any airport, that airport automatically becomes an album. Okay? So we've flown in and out of New York a lot of times, and as you can see, there's a little calendar here. What this does is, on the dates that the screenshots were taken, will be highlighted on the map. So if I click on night now, it will filter the screenshot that were taken only on the 9th. If I click on 13, it will filter the screenshots that were taken only on the 13th. And you can come and click on them, open them, and you can go through them. And again, as always, you can click on keep and upload. And if you click on this, it will be uploaded to the cloud. If you don't like it, you can delete it. But every airport is an album. So this is the JFK album. This is the Dubai album. Every flight we've made out of Dubai, you can see there is 12, 15, 16, 17 on the map. If I click on the 12th, all of the flights that happened on the 12th is shown in Dubai. Again, you can click on keep and upload, and then it will be saved on the cloud. If you don't like it, you can delete it. Dubai. If you click on the 17th, this is this let's delete this. That is not accurate. Right. Okay, so on the 16th, if we click on the 16th, all of the screenshots that were taken on the 16th are saved. Right? So every airport is an album. There is Boston, there is Mauritius, and there is Rome. These are some of the flights I have made recently. That is why they are there. So any screenshot that happens at any airport in the world, that airport automatically becomes an album. So anytime you fly in or out of an airport right now, any screenshot that happens gets saved automatically into that airport. And then there is the VA tab. Like I said, there's a VA, and then there's a Friends tab. In the Friends tab, like I said earlier, you can chat with your friends. You are not just adding friends and you can't communicate with your friends. You can actually chat. You can actually chat with your friends. You can come on here and have a conversation with your friend, and If your friends are online, if they are flying, you would get the letters. If they are online, they will be shown to be online here right now. Right now, Kano just opened up Groundnav, right? So if you guys saw earlier, there was a notification here. It shows me that Kano just opened because he's my friend. I was notified that he has opened the app, and that means he's about to spawn in somewhere or he's about to fly somewhere. And when he actually starts flying or when he spawns in, this will be updated. This will be updated to live. It will show him where he's flying and what aircraft and some flight information, and you can actually chat and communicate with your friends here. So that is that about the user profile. There is an overview, a broader overview of everything. How much fuel, how much, the distance, how much passengers you've flown, your average landing. So it will take all of your landing and give you an average of everything. And again, there is also a calendar here. This calendar is for every day you fly in the calendar. It is shown. Okay, it is shown every day you fly, and if it's green, that means your landing was good. Rome to JFK was not great. That is why this is almost red. It wasn't a great landing. But if the landing is good, if the landing is good, it will be green on the calendar. Today is 19th. I haven't flown today, but after flying today, you would get. Yesterday I flew London to EM, and as you can see it here. So you can come and it shows you, how long the flight was. Phoenix to Seattle, 2 hours 37 minutes. So every time you fly, there is a calendar showing you. So you have an overview and you have your own personal space where every data, all of your data and all of information, how many hours in total you've flown, everything is logged here. And you can also change. You can change your. This is like an image. You can change whatever image that is here. And then this is the career mode. Now, this career mode is, I've said it before a little while ago, there is nothing out there, at least none that I know of, and I'm pretty familiar with all of the career mode apps and softwares. There is nothing out there that comes remotely close to how true to life the Groundnav career mode is. The steps are, it mirrors real life pipelines. Everything that a reward pilot, the full process of how a reward pilot goes, all of the interviews, all of the test flights, all of the check rides and interviews and exams and questions and theories, all of those are available. So you won't just click I'm ready, go in, fly a couple flights, gather experience points, and then go buy an airplane and just start flying. No, it doesn't work that way. If you want to fly for EasyJet or British Airways, you would go through the one-to-one real-life procedures that British Airways demands of pilots that wants to fly for them. Now, every airline has their own criteria. What EasyJet would demand from you is different from what Lufthansa or Emirates or Qatar or Cathay Pacific or Japan Airlines or anyone would demand from you, right? And that is where the library comes in. And inside, when you actually get past this whole phase, there is a mini library in your pilot area. You are advised before you even start anything. You are advised to go and read and study, because you are going to go through texts is it like writing exams? Again, just like it happens in the real world. You are going to go through tests and exams. You are going to be asked technical questions. And there is a mini library in the pilot area where you can go and study. If you study well, you are going to be able to pass the questions. But there is nothing remotely close, right? This, of course, it has not started yet, but you can, come back here and begin setup. If you click on begin setup, it will take you back to the page, right? So there are airlines from all over the world, and if you click on any airline, you see their network on the map. Or everywhere they fly to. This is Air France, and this is Paris, obviously, and this is everywhere they fly to in the world. This is Cathay Pacific, and this is everywhere they fly to in the world. This is Air Canada. Every destination in the world they fly to, and every airline has different requirements. So this is, again, I am confidently saying there is nothing out there that comes remotely close to the Groundnav carrier mode. Nothing close, and I am excited, and you guys would love it. You guys would absolutely love it. Then there is the leaderboard. Of course, this is where the most airports that are flown, most aircrafts, the best landings, who has the best commander. Commander is the highest level of landing. So which of the users has commanders and how many they have? I'm currently leading, but Kano is pretty close. All right. So this is the commander. This is, who has the best departure scores. Who has flown the most passengers, who has flown, the most distance, and overall who is the best. Of course, if there's anything else you guys would want added here, we can easily add it. And of course, this goes by week, by month, by year, and they go by all time.
248 knots, carry on 17.
Is there local airlines? Yes. There is all airlines, every airline in the world. But we'll come back to the question and answers later. Let me just go through this, guys. So this is the explore page. What is the explore page? If you are ever, this is loading because it is going to fetch data from again, everything you see here are from real world routes. Okay, nothing is invented. These are data we had to pay a lot of money to get. So these are real world routes. So this is the explore page. What this does is, if you are ever bored or if you are overwhelmed, you don't know where to fly, or if you want to fly but you don't know where or what to fly, what destination, what airline to fly, you can come to the explore page. You can either click an airline or type one in, choose an aircraft, choose if you want passenger or cargo, or just leave it on all. Then you can choose how much, if you want short or medium or long haul. If you click on this, it will suggest a flight for you if you don't know where to fly or what to fly. And popular on Groundnav, based on what people are flying on the Groundnav app, when the app is live and there are people flying, it will be able to suggest to you the routes that people are flying most on Groundnav. Currently, it is still taken from the real world data because there is not enough data to use. But when there are enough people flying on Groundnav, it will be able to suggest to you, based on what departures people are flying, what routes people are flying most, or the routes that are most popular on Groundnav. You'll get auto suggestion here, in here. And of course, this is also from and it will do it based on the day. You can go and choose another day, obviously, but it will always default to the present day that you are at. And this is VATSIM events for each day. Today is Wednesday, so these are the events that are available on VATSIM. Okay, and then there is the dispatch. This is basically your information, your flights, your current flights. You know what your current flight is. Again, these are briefings, no terms. You know, this is pretty detailed. But this is all from VATSIM. All of the the flight information, the nav logs, and all of that stuff. And then this again is the same, a more detailed information about the flight, where you are at, where the top of the descent is supposed to be, when, what the current frequency is, and what the frequency of the arrival airports, and the departure as well. The departure runways, the heading, the length of the runway. You get all of that information here. The arrival runway as well. These are all of the runways in London, the headings, the length of the runway, the ILS frequencies, all of that stuff. You get all that information inside of here. And then that brings us back to the front page. This is Jedi. And if you guys remember earlier, I clicked on Jedi in the information page, right? As my friend, Jedi is the last chat that's remained. I am able to chat with him. So because the chat is already open here, if I come back to the map page, the chat will continue. So I can be flying, I can be at the gate, and I can fly and chat with my friend. Unlike other applications where you can just add a friend and you can't chat or communicate with your friend, in Groundnav you can actually chat with your friend, and you can even move it anywhere you want. There's a checklist as well, checklist that you can minimize, and you can get back up. But the chats, this is really cool. You are not just adding friends, you can actually communicate with your friends, right? So we are getting close to starting actually flying. We have a TCAS here. This TCAS functions, again, everything in Groundnav is well researched and was built to work as real world systems work. So as you can see, there's a TCAS, and it is showing all of the aircrafts that are at the airports to us, and what altitude and where they are, right? Then there's the tools bar here. Groundnav, like I said before, has traffic injection, so you don't need to can you change the Zulu? You don't need to change anything. There is the Zulu time. This is the local time. So there are two times here. Wherever you are in the world, it will show your local time, and it will show the Zulu time. Yeah. So you don't need to change. You don't need to change. You don't need to change anything. There is traffic injection. So you can inject traffic. I plan on increasing this from 10 to 20 to maybe 20 to 50. Then these numbers. But for example, if I click on high right now, okay, and I click inject, watch what happens on the map. 55 traffic has been injected, and as you can see right now, these traffic have now been injected in the same, right? If we go and check, you see them. These are traffic injected by Groundnav. Okay, these are all Groundnav traffic, most of them. I mean, this is a VATSIM obviously, but Okay, let me disconnect the VATSIM. I have disconnected VATSIM. Oh, sorry, I forgot. I forgot Groundnav. I forgot that Groundnav is blocking. What just happened? Right. Oh, sorry. I forgot. So all of this traffic currently are Groundnav traffic, and it is based off of reward. Like I said, what happens is when this traffic, when you click to inject a traffic, right, it will go into the reward database of flights at Amsterdam. It will look at the time, it will look at the day, and it will look at the flights that are available at that time frame and it will inject those. So currently we have 25 aircraft injected, and you can actually come here and see what aircraft are injected. Here there is Korea Airline. What's the name of this aircraft in Ireland? There is FedEx, there is Lufthansa CT, ASL, China Eastern, Swiss Airways, there is KLM, there is China Southern, there is KLM, there is TAB, there is Etihad. So it will go, there is Turkish Airline, there is SAS, Vueling. So it goes and it will look at the reward route for airline for today, Wednesday. It will look at the time. Currently it's 8:30 in Amsterdam, and it will go and inject traffic into Amsterdam. Pretty cool. So you will have no need for to do anything. And the cool thing about this is, if another Groundnav user, for example, I am parked at this gate. If another Groundnav user spawns at this gate, right, they will be injected by my side right now. So Groundnav, you are actually able to see other Groundnav users in real life in the same. They are not just going to be represented on the map. They are not going to be, they won't be shown just on the map. They would actually be spawned into the sim right now at the time. Okay, this is Kano. I think this yes, this is Kano. Okay, Kano is spawned in. I don't know what airline is ZIZ, but let me go back. This is Kano right here. Okay, this is Kano, and he's a Groundnav user. He currently says ZIZ, so I don't know what airline is ZIZ. That is why it shows white. There is no livery for ZIZ. There's no airline known as ZIZ. Maybe it's still loading in. But if you are loaded in as a British Airways or a KLM, it will show its livery. It will show its livery. And if he pushes back, you will see him pushing back. If he begins to taxi, you will see him begin to taxi. It happens automatically for other Groundnav users. But optionally, you can inject manual traffic. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry guys. So manually you can inject, if you spawn into an airport where there isn't other people or there isn't a lot of people, you can manually inject traffic just to populate the airport, so it's not just empty and stuff. And then there is so we are back on VATSIM, so we can get rid of the traffic now, and now they are gone. And the good news is it is not crazy on your systems. Groundnav currently is using less than 85 megabytes. With everything it does currently, right? It is using less than 85 megabytes. Again, there is nothing out there that does anything remotely close to this. And I'm saying this with utmost humility. There is nothing out there that does anything remotely close to this in terms of how efficient the architecture is that was used to make this. And there's a takeoff calculator. Most aircraft currently has takeoff calculator, so you are not going to need it most of the time, but if you ever need it, there is a takeoff calculator there. You can it will pull some of the data and information. Then you can calculate, and it will pick up the aircraft automatically also as well. Then you can adjust some settings here, and then it will give you. And the calculation is pretty good. It's pretty solid as well. And there is also a landing calculator as well. Again, for most of the time, you are not going to need it, but if you ever need it, it is there. It is there for you. And there's an OFP. Now again, this is as before. This is a full detailed OFP. Every single thing pulled from VATSIM, from SimBrief. I mean, every single thing pulled from SimBrief. And there is a shorter version of it that condenses the things you need here on this left widget, like your seed and the runway. And these you can change this. You can, so they're pretty dynamic. If you change it, it will change to whatever. You can change the runway as well, and and it will redraw. If you make any change here, it will redraw the flight path on the world map. So there's again there's a procedure like Amsterdam. It shows you all of the runways at Amsterdam. It shows you the seed. Again, you can change it here as well. It's also here, but you can do the same thing. London as well. Currently it shows 24. 24 is the runways SimBrief suggested as well, but it is 18 because it will read. According to VATSIM, it should be 18. So 18, I suspect it will is what is in use. And then there's a scratch pad. For example, we are flying on VATSIM. Okay, we are on VATSIM, and it will pull. These are the ATC is online, right? So it will pull the informations, the frequencies of ATC. This is ATC, this is delivery, this is the ground, this is the tower, and this is the departure. Remember earlier when I talked about DeepGram, there is a feature coming later where you can set these, you can input anything here with just talking. Right? You can speak into the mic. You can select whatever mic and you can speak into it, and then it will fill out all of these faces. But this is a scratch pad that contains the runway, the clear to EGL approval, taxi holding points, facing west, or north or east via taxi entry and all other stuff. It's whatever information, you can quickly put those in here. This is the departure. This is for departure. And the same, you have another one for arrival as well. Currently, London ground is online and Aries is online as well. So if they are available, it will automatically put those in for you. This is just more VATSIM meta information that's so this is sorry guys, I don't know, I'm coughing like this, but this is more for VATSIM, right? It breaks down the informations into understandable phase, but you can click on raw meta and you'll get the raw. You'll get the raw meta. And this is back here you have the aircraft image, the flights, of course the the aircraft rec. You can change it if it's ever wrong. It is never going to be wrong, but if it's ever wrong, you can come and change it here. You have the little weather information and the alternate. You have the ground. So let's minimize this for a little bit. So remember, right now we are parked at Delta 53. So it knows the gate we are parked at. So let's say you want to taxi to runway 18 is currently available, right? Active. You can click on. Okay, so there are different 18s. So we don't know if it's Charlie. So let's say runway 18 left is where ATC would tell us to taxi to. If you click on the departure runway, right, and you click on show route, it will draw a taxi path for you to the runway where you are supposed to taxi and how to get to the runway. And you can also type in here by yourself manually, and whatever you type in here, this is automatic. But if you give it specific instructions, it will follow based on the, of course, the taxiways and the taxi informations. It will, based on whatever you type here, it will follow it and get you to the runway. And as always, like we said earlier, you can change this color. You can change this color in the settings. You can change most of these things. You can change all of them. You can change the colors, the traffic, the color of the traffic, all of this stuff. You can change all of this. The taxiway lines, how you want them to look. You can change how you want them to look. All of these are all customizable. No, actually, this is an iVow. This is iVow. Actually, I think this is iVow, not Groundnav. Apologies. This is iVow. So there are 3 iVow pilots. These are iVow pilots. We're not on IVAO, so we can't check them out. And then there is GSX. You can control GSX from here live. Let's grab fuel. I just requested fuel, and GSX will be coming with fuel. Right, full control of GSX right here from the Groundnav app. So you don't need to mess with GSX in the app. You can do all of that. And then, of course, like I said earlier, there's the OFP that has the stars and the runway. And actually, let me go check the areas for Amsterdam and the departure runway. Main departure runway is 24. Okay, departure runway is 24. Then 18 right is the landing. So runway 24 is correct. So if I come back here and I choose 24, click on this. You see the taxi the taxi part has changed. It has now redirected me to the runway 24, and you can see that is the same path it drew is the same path that ATC gave actual vaccine pilots to follow. So it gave me the right. I have not communicated with ATC, but it knows intelligently that this is the right taxiway to get to the runway. So if you ever fly to an airport, maybe it's a complex airport, or an airport you've never flown to before or have never gotten to before, it has the same thing for arrival. If you arrive at an airport, wherever you are at the airport, departure runway would turn to gate, right? So you click on here, type the gate you want to get to, and it will draw a taxi path to get to the gate, no matter how complex the airport is. So this is pretty useful. And also, when you land at an airport, you will get there will be a box that will pop up telling you, based on your aircraft and your airline, it will tell you the terminal you are expected to use at that airport you just landed. You will see it in action. When we land in London, it will pop up and it will tell me for my aircraft and my airline, I am expected to go and park at Terminal 5. And then it will suggest to me any gates in Terminal 5 to go and park at. And these are the screenshots. These are the screenshots. All of the screenshots that are taken, they are all here. So you can choose where to save the screenshot. You can choose where they should be saved at. You can delete even from here as well. And then this is the replay. Remember earlier I told you guys that you can select auto replay, where the aircraft can start replaying stuff for you, and it is automatic. This is it. You can. These are replays that have been. You can see this is a flight I did yesterday, London to Amsterdam. This is the departure and the arrival. So if I click on here right now, right? This is because this is the departure. And you can see it has brought me back to London, hasn't it? So if I click on play right now, it will start replaying, but I'm not loaded in the aircraft, so it's not going to work. But because I clicked on it, it brought me back to London. It has loaded in, and if I was to click play, if I was loaded with the right aircraft, it will start replaying the aircraft. It will start replaying the flight, and it has even drawn the flight path already. As you can see, it has drawn the flight path. So if I was to replay, right, this is the flight. This is the path it will take, and it will go this way up to this place. It stopped here because this is where the recording stopped for the departure. For the arrival, is the same. Because I chose landing as the beginning of the recording, as you can see, it started here, and I landed on runway 27. As you can see, 27, right? So if I was to start playing right now, you see, it will start from here down to the, and you can see this is where I exited when I made the flight, right? So there's a replay, and of course you can come and start here manually, and you can come and restart. You can come and restart automatically. Okay. So we did request for a few. I thought we requested for a few. So that is pretty much the overview for the Groundnav app. All of your friends, your friends are here. Let me get rid of chat. Your friends are here, so you can come here, Jedi, click on chat, and then you can open it. You can open a chat and start chatting with your friend.
Sorry, it's
okay. So that is the preview of the Groundnav app. There is going to be a feature request page on the website. It is not live yet, but it will be. Everything will go live almost simultaneously. I requested fuel, so let's make sure the fuel truck is on its way. Okay. So the app is not live yet. It will expect it to be sometime next week. Exactly what date I do not know, but by the middle of next week, you guys will have a pretty good idea when it will be going live. So while we set up to fly to London, if there are any questions, now would be a good time for any questions, or if there's anything that is not understood. And just a little bit more to go. There are these informations. These are little main, I guess, important, but not the biggest day. But just ease. There is the controllers and how long they've been online, and you can just easily click on any frequency, and it will tune automatically in the aircraft to that frequency. And there is the squawk. The squawk, if you are on VATSIM, the squawk that ATC would give you, like right now, I'll be getting squawk 7333. That is what ATC would give me. So I know already what squawk I'll be getting, right? And then this is currently the amount of fuel in the aircraft. Currently, you see 2,000 kilograms, right? If I get rid of this and I go in the aircraft, you can see that fuel on board is 2,000. When GSS comes and starts loading the aircraft, you would see, you guys will see, what the hell are the fuel trucks? How long does it take for a fuel truck to get here? What the hell, man? GSS is always acting up, isn't it? GSS is always acting up all the damn time. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna continue. If I wait for a little bit more and GSS is not here, I'm just gonna continue. I don't know, I'm getting performance hits like this. This is crazy. What the hell is the fuel truck? Fuel truck is on its way. How long does it take for a fuel truck to get here? The only reason I want to use the fuel truck is I want to see you guys watch. Okay, there they are, finally. If the fuel trucks have arrived, I want you guys to see how when fuels start loading, right? When the fuel start loading, you will see how these numbers will change dynamically. It will start loading dynamically, and you can see a refueling status has come up here. And when it starts, this number will change. It will start loading dynamically, aligning exactly with what is inside of the aircraft itself. So GSS is taking their sweet time, of course. This is just for demonstration's sake. There's no need to use GSS, but just for demonstration's sake, I'm gonna have GSS on now. You can see they are getting ready, and now it's gonna ask the quantity of the fuel. And when I start, you guys should watch what happens, what begins to happen here.
Bye-bye.
You see what is going on here? The numbers are changing. So fuel is being loaded into the aircraft, and whatever is in the aircraft is being updated. So it's in real time. It is tracking the fuel in real time as GSX is loading it. Let me get rid of this. See, refueling is happening right now, and the fuel in the plane is being tracked in real time. I think it should be 12 tons or thereabouts. And refueling, you are getting a percentage, it's 100%, and it's done. So 11.8 tons. So the fuel in the aircraft would be 11.8 tons until I run the APU. Currently, we have 11.8 tons, right? If I start running the APUs, the fuel will begin to decrease. Currently, you know what? Let's set things up a little bit. Let me grab this and then go to go to the init. Let's import the flights plan. Get this here. We are expecting the 24, so it's the same. And the departure runway according to OFP is going to be Valkyrie 3 Sierra. Valkyrie 3 Sierra. And in London, we're expecting 27. Is that? Let me see. The London 80s is my year, but let's go with 27 rights for now. Let's go with 27 rights for now. Star is Loga 2 Hotel as always. That's not what I chose. What the hell is going on? Is something wrong? Why is it acting weird? I'm not just... I'm choosing something else. It's something else is being chosen. What? I give up. Where is the how were we doing this before? I don't know why I had to do all that, but Lambert transition. Okay, and how much passengers? Let's see. 260. Let's do 260 passengers. 11.8 tons of fuel. I just load everything in here. Actually, let's go back, grab this, grab that in as well, and we're good. Let's go. Let's fire up the APU. Currently, remember it's 11.8 tons of fuel, right? 11.8 tons of fuel is what is live, right? So APU is going to come up now. Why we grab our clearance? Skip on delivery. Good evening. Speedbird 339 heavy. Requesting clearance to London Heathrow.
Speedbird 339 fuel delivery out of Mission Golf. Ticket to London Heathrow. Buffalo 3 Shannon Departure runway 24. Flight plan of 60 Cox 733.
See that? 7333. Buckle to London Heathrow, got the Valco 3 Sierra, initial climb 60, and squawk 7333, Speedbird 339.
Speedbird 339, did you think it's going? Seabird food ready.
We go. And then to switch it, click on this, and then it will be done for you in the aircraft. Okay? Pretty cool, huh? Let's just get this over so we can just move on. And then APU is now live, so let's fire the APU bleed. Now, because APU is now running, look at what happens. The fuel, this is the fuel that started in the aircraft, 11.8 tons, right? Now it's 11.796. So APU is live, and it is now using from the fuel of the aircraft in real time. All of this happening in real time. Fuel is good. Let's just let's go do the takeoff performance and compute that 124. send that to the FMS. 72. So you are advised for accurate rating, right? It says that you're taking off with flaps 1, but it needs the Groundnav app. Let me reduce this a little bit so you guys can see what I'm trying to explain to you guys. So currently here right now, okay, for best rating and to help the app to rate you correctly, you need to tell it is not able to read into the FMC to know your V1 or V2 or VR. So if you want to help it give you accurate departure rating, you have to tell it what your V1, V2, and VR is and what your flap is. Most of the time, it will know what your flap is, okay? But your V1, V2, and VR is important. So I'm going to come here now and tell it our V1 is going to be 142, our VR is going to be 143, and our V2 is going to be 148. Oops, 148. So, and I click save. For arrival also, is the same. Now, in the case of arrival, there are different types of arrivals, right? There is ILS, there is RNAV, there is visual, and there is circling. So again, to help it grade you fairly and properly, you have to tell it what type of approach you are using to land. If it's an ILS or an RNAV or a visual or a circling, you tell it your landing flap and your final approach speed. Then based on this, it will grade your approach and landing properly with accurate information. Okay, so all of this is done. I think we can, I'm not sure why I'm getting this much stutters, but I don't know what they did to the aircraft, but I'm getting some crazy, like it's like the same is loaded. Anyway, QNH is 10. I don't know what is going on. I have no idea what is going on. 1003, and the initial climb is 6,000 according to the. Is it possible? Is all of this use stuff that is just adding on unnecessary stuff? Let me see if I can get rid of them. You can't even get. You can just change it. Anyway. Everything looks good up here. APU bleed is on, so we are going to disconnect from the external power, get out of the chocks, and start getting ready. Speedbird 339 ready to push and start. Is this still there?
Speedbird 339 Visual Golf, Greenland 003, on the ground, 21805,
21805, thank you, bye-bye. So we're going to contact ground, do that, just come on, click on that, and then pretty quick and easy. Skipper ground, Speedbird 339, request push and start. All right, so we can come back to GSX, right? And then request pushback. We don't have to do anything in the GSX menu in the Speedbird 339 request push and start list.
Speedbird 339 triple ground, hello, pushback and start approved.
Push and start approved. Okay, so APU, said APU, beacon is gonna go live now. Okay, and as soon as I as soon as the tug connects, the flight phase will change from at gate to pushback. So it knows every flight phase. It is tracking, it knows every flight phase. There are triggers for every flight phase. It's currently at the gate. It will become pushback soon. So let's minimize the app a little bit. We can minimize this, and again, like I said, you see, so we can minimize that a little bit, so things are a little okay. I mean, we'll need it for GSX actually. So you see, I click this now. We cannot get rid of this. You see, now the flight phase has switched to pushback after releasing the parking brakes. Okay, it is now pushback, isn't it? So we are gonna be starting. Read up. So these are just unnecessary stuff, to be honest. So we are gonna get the engines running. And if you're watching the fuel, eyes on the fuel, guys. You see, it is going down. It started with 1.8. Now it's 1.7. So most of that has been from the APU, right? So now the engines are coming up. Of course, it's going to start using more fuel right now, but it is still just reducing and going down, isn't it? Okay, engine 2 is available. Let's do number 1 now. Let's use this. Still a pushback. You can see the phase is still a pushback, and you're getting your actual. There's an FPS counter here, so there's no frame gen. It's getting you the actual FPS in the same is what you're getting here. And again, the fuel. Now both engines are running, so the fuel is gonna it will start using more of the fuel. It'll start using more of the fuel now. So now, good start on both engines. Parking brakes are set. Let's get rid of APU bleed on thrusters on spoilers on flaps 1, and auto brakes also. RTO. The aircraft is actually facing the wrong. It should be facing. I pushed back facing the wrong. I pushed facing the wrong direction. I guess we'll have to just.
All stations, ground location for
135.110. It's not here. How is it not there? 35410. It's not on vPilot as well.
119 R230.
Okay. Let me get the head tracking on. All right, head tracking is head tracking is now. Skipper Tower, Speedbird 33 in a request taxi, please. Sierra 7 runway 24. So we are gonna go make a quick right turn up here. So brakes are now set, now released, and taxi lights. Let's get the wing lights on also. So we are moving, and you can see the ground speed. Obviously, it will switch. Hold on, guys. This is not. Hold on. Let me. I have to go and calibrate the throttle. They are all. Why you have to do this every bloody time? I don't know. Okay. Brakes are now off, and we are good. So it will switch from pushback to taxi out after 10 knots. You see? Now it has gotten to taxi out automatically. So now in the taxi out phase, it will remain on the taxi out until we get to the takeoff phase of things. And there's a compass, obviously. So every time, wherever you are going, wherever you are facing, the compass changes. Currently, we are facing more northeast, and the degree of your heading, all of that is all. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? What the hell is he waiting for, man? Skipper Tower, there's someone in front of us. Can you help us check on what's going on, please? All right, thank you. And apologies. I'm not streaming today. I'm making a product. I am introducing the product you see on the screen. This is more of a test flight of some sort for the products you're seeing on the screen right now. Oh my God! This man's gonna delay us now. That was my bad. Actually, I probably should have even just taken the difference. I can't turn now, can I? I mean, where else would I there's nowhere to turn. This is where I was. What turn was I supposed to make? This is the first turn, no? Oh, is that something I'm not aware of? Okay, it's moving now. Again, you guys, eyes on the fuel. You see, the fuel is continues going down. Real-time fuel monitoring. We're now back to the parts that the app drew for us to taxi on. Gone. Behind United in the Express 339. just like this aircraft is moving right now, this is how you guys will be able to see other ground nav pilots seeing their aircraft move, and for better coordination, that is the purpose of the radio, so pilots can communicate with each other. Okay. You guys will see, if you watch it, if you're watching the map, when I on these strobes, the map will zoom out to the level I set it to zoom out. Takeoff, speed 339. Okay, here we go. You see, the map zooms out and I get this here, and then let's go. Let me temporarily disable the ground nav so we can enjoy. Man flex 72 degrees SRS runway auto thrust split. The hell is clapping? The auto throttle, autopilot, I mean, and then back to the app. Now, if we go to the flights page, you will see another fuel monitor here. Okay. Now, this currently is measuring the burn rate. How much fuel we are burning per hour. Currently we have 10.5 tons of fuel, and it says we are burning 5,750 kilograms per hour. So this is the average for the A350 1000. So, and what happens is it will wait till cruise. When it gets to cruise, nice takeoff, Ben.
Thank you.
Ah, thanks. Yes, you are still there, Kano. One 2120. Thank you. Bye bye. 1 2 1. Let's go get the 1 2 1. let me. So what happens is it will get to cruise. By the time it gets to cruise, every 20 minutes it will start to measure how much fuel we are burning per how much fuel we are burning per kilometer. So currently, yes, sir, I was about to call you. Just leveling at 6,000 or 60. I mean. Continue 130, and thank you very much. Okay, let's keep going. So currently it is estimating we'll have 5.8 tons of fuel by the time we get to London. But this number is dynamic. Every number here is dynamic. It will change based on what is happening in the aircraft, based on the weather, based on any delays, or based on anything, right? So we'll come back to this. We'll come back to this when we are descending and after we landed. But in the meantime, I'm going to minimize the app even further. So. I didn't know you were still there, Kanu. Two 5750. Thank you. Bye bye. Okay, 10,000. It is we are flying to London. It's a short flight, just a short flight. Demonstration. It's a demonstration of the Groundnav app. Speedbird 339 passing 10,000. 240 Speedbird 339. When the stream ends, I will I'll download this whole stream and then chop the different sections of the, or I might do a separate one for it. I don't know. I probably not. Probably no need for that. But I might do a separate video going through everything we just covered. Then upload them on the channel on a different playlist, so people can always go back to those and reference them for any questions they may have on anything. That might be the plan, actually. Probably the right thing to do, to be honest.
Fine, 4 Papa Hotel, descent to level 70, after Arctic to Sheriff of the King.
So again, Guys, I keep coming back to this. Real-time fuel tracking. Currently, we have 8.9 tons of fuel. If you look at the aircraft, that is what we have here. 8.9 tons of fuel. So excellent real-time tracking of the fuel. And let's see if anything has changed. Yeah, it's still the same. Currently, it still thinks we are going to arrive with the same amount of fuel we planned for the trip. So currently just 183 kilograms. Are these cargo ships? I'm seeing these are cargo ships. These are cargo ships. This is one here. I think this is another one here, but they are more visible. Look at cargo ships. These are maritime cargo ships all over the waters. Okay, they're just coming into view now. Look at them. There's one here. There's another one. There's another one. Another. This is another. This is another as well. This is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let me go plug my phone. I'll be back, guys. So let's bring you back.
Okay, let's please 70 proceed to Clark.
There's something. Kanu, are you still there? Have you downloaded the app, the latest version of the app? Track these flights. I'm on now, and tell me if the fuel is accurate. No, not flying. Just install it and track my flights. This flight I'm currently flying right now. If the phone is if the phone is nearby, you can just install it and then just log in, and I want to see how long it's taking the fuel to update. How many seconds it's taking the fuel to update, because the fuel tracking is also available on the app as well. And also again, just like flight radar, every phase of the flight has a different color. So 1 to 2, thank you, bye bye. So you know, at the departure, it's yellow. So as the phase of the flight changes, the colors change and it becomes green, and eventually it will be blue, and then purple is the cruise altitude color, I believe. It will become purple. That is the altitude. That's the color when we get to cruise. And then this one on this side. This was yesterday's. That was yesterday's flight. This was the flight flown that I flew yesterday. So it keeps cruising, and then no, it might remain blue because it is altitude based. These colors are altitude based. So because we are not going above 30,000, it's going to be blue for the. You see? Now, if you guys see up here, top of descent, there's a top of descent alert, and I am currently, I don't know if you guys probably can hear it, but I'm hearing a beep. There's a tone that is playing on my computer right now, telling me that I am close to the top of descent. And if I was on the phone, I would be getting this same beep. So the more I go, it's telling me 46 nautical miles ahead, so the top of descent. The top of descent is right here. So we are approaching it, right? So this number would keep reducing the closer we get, and it will keep doing this until I press stop. But I'll leave it for now. If we were going to make a step climb as well, the same thing would have happened. When you get to the waypoint where you are expected to make a step climb, you'll be notified that it's time to make a step climb. And now we are currently in the cruise phase of the flight. And if you come, if I bring this in and I go to the replay, you'll see that the departure for this flight right now, all recorded. I did not need to press anything manually to record anything. It's all recorded, and after I land, I can easily come back and press replay, and the replay I could replay the whole departure phase. When we are landing, also when we get to the landing phase of the flight, it will start recording as well. I can come back and start replaying without having to manually go and start recording or stopping anything. And you see, at destination, it is now projecting 5.4. Before it was 5.9. So all these numbers are dynamic based on what is happening and based on its calculation. 5.4. We'll come back to see, and we'll come back to this and see if it changes. Yes, Kano, there is fuel and there is remain. After the fuel, there should be another one, remain, REM, which is the life value of the fuel actually remaining. The fuel on board is the fuel for the entire trip, but there should be another section, another value there that should tell you how much fuel is 7.4. Okay, it should update to 7.2 very soon. It should update to 7.2 very soon. Let's see if London approach is online. It's not. Even tower is not online. Only ground is online. Ground is pretty useless in my opinion. So we may have to disconnect. 7.2. Okay. So yeah, it may be. Everybody just closing. So it may be a couple seconds, maybe 5 seconds behind, but it will be updating based on what is happening here as well. And if you go to your if you go to the log, if you go to your log, you will get almost the same detailed breakdown of your departure and landing in the flight log as well. So the app is actually close. It's like 80% actually. So it's close to its first version. All that is left is just to make sure it is able to read the MCP correctly, the altitude, the heading, and the speed, and then the radius. Then in a later update, we'll make it possible to control the MCP from the phone, to control the MCP and some autopilot functions from the phone. So you press it, and in 2-3 seconds, it takes effect in the actual aircraft itself. So we are getting to our arrival. So let's see what information is. QNH, the wind is 260 at 13. 260 at and temperature is 21 degrees. It's pretty chill in London today. QNH is 1004 and it's usually 280. The bar is usually 280 in London, isn't it? The bar is usually 280 in London. Now this has changed. Before it was 5.4, now it's 5.2. So we are slowly beginning to use more fuel than was planned by SimBrief. At the current stage of this flight, we've used about 500 kilograms of more fuel than we're supposed to. That is because we are now having 50 knots of headwind. And we were on the ground for almost 2 hours, so it makes sense that there's now a difference in how much fuel we are using. Close to the top of the descent, and for the labels, like we said earlier, you can come here, turn the labels on, and then you now have labels. And these waypoints, you can change what colors they are from the settings. So everything, almost everything on the map, you can change, you can customize to however you want it. Everyone is offline right now. They were gone offline. They're gonna we are going to disconnect from we are going to disconnect from VATSIM. We have to. Let's see what the landing runway is. 27 right. Yeah, that is all configured already. Okay, we've gotten to our top of descent. So let's begin our descent. Of course, the descent, the flight phase will change very soon. Down we go. This is beautiful, isn't it? This is such a beautiful approachment, sunset. So the flight phase is now in descent automatically. Again, I say this with a lot of humility. Nothing comes close out there. And as always, there's stickers, telling you about aircraft, how far they are, what feet they are, what their call sign and aircraft, and all that stuff. So basically two TCAS systems. I agree 100%. It's truly a one for all. I mean, it may sound like bragging, but it's the truth. It's the truth. There's nothing comes close. Nothing comes close. There's nothing out there. There's nothing as detailed, and most astonishingly, it does all of this for 10% of the same. Volanta on average is using about 500 to 600 megabytes, right? Groundnav uses like 80. It hovers around 70, high 70s to low 80s. So it doesn't even use 100 megabytes of your resources, and it is doing significantly more than Volanta and Elevatex put together. So it is with humility that we say it is the best. And not to talk of the carrier mode. I am most proud of the carrier mode because most people will probably find it annoying, but it will feel more rewarding. It's literally bringing the real life experience of a pilot into simulation. With such insane performance. Well, this is the that is the advantage of having a simmer build something, because I am actually someone that actually flies, right? I know the pains involved. I know the things that happens. How important every memory is, every megabyte, how important they are to performance. So I understand. I'm fully aware.
0 degrees, descent altitude 3,500 feet, speed 187.
Okay. So see now it's projecting 4.9 tons of fuel.
160 control 40 means speedbird
3.
63.
27 right, and it's gonna be the Lambon transition. We're gonna come in here, clear this, get rid of this, and come back here, and let's see what our V output is gonna be. 134. Right, so we're gonna be landing with flaps config full, and it's gonna be an IRS, ILS, and then it's gonna be 134 for the final. So giving it this information now, it has all the information it needs to rate our approach more accurately. So any airports we are currently flying over, it will I can't get it to open. Any airports that has been flown over, it will show the active runway at that airport in case a player wants to make a diversion. When we get to the landing phase, I'll disable VATSIM. Okay, 1000. Get that in place. Continue to 4,000, and then we'll have to do let's do this for now. Brakes is expecting 1004, so let's set that in there.
And then it's one right orbit, and then leave the heading 085, so we've got time to land. Even on the flight, and then make 2 degrees, clears on the approach, and then 2 yeah, we're making an approach. T3 right, leave on 10E1.
When we get close, we'll just make a right vector. I'll vector ourselves to the right and then align to the runway. The last time I did an auto land in the A350, it was terrible. But I don't even want to risk it right now, because if I do an auto land and it's terrible, I get punished. My ratings will suck. And I would like to maintain my lead as the one with the highest commander in Groundnav. We don't want a certain Mr. Kano to overtake us.
Victor, by pop 1, cross now, runway T3, yeah, T3 right, hold on, take off. Cross now. Alpha Delta,
I fly more than you, you know, Kado. I make videos for the channel, so I fly a lot more than you. So in a month, on average, I'm flying 8 times on average every month. Actually, more than that, because I do live stream as well. So I'm flying anywhere from 12 to 15 times every single month. So I fly a lot. Quantity over quality. Not really. I have 123 flights and you have 102. So that is like 20 plus more. That is not significantly more. That is, the difference is not as significant. I mean, it's a lot. 20 is a lot, obviously, but it's not that significant. So you guys, something just happened, right? When you get to the approach phase, the app will choose, it will read VATSIM areas, and based on VATSIM areas, it will choose a runway for you, like it did right now. It chose 27 right, and that is confirmed. You can change it if you want, but because 27 right is the landing runway, there's no need to change it. If I want to change it, I could do that, but there's no need to. And because 27 right is now the landing runway, it knows you're landing on the 27, it will now properly grade your it will now properly grade it will now properly grade your landing. Let's vector ourselves. Yes, 170, 172 is okay. And when we get to the landing and we're about to land, I will gradually, I'll disable the Groundnav app so that so we can all enjoy the landing. Look at tickers. There's a aircraft 5.5 nautical miles from us right now. Beatrice Airways 687. I suspect it's this one. No, this is Swiss. That is Swiss. Yeah. So this aircraft, according to this, is saying 5.7 miles away from us, and it's 1,500 feet away from us. So the TCAS is pretty. I mean, you have it in your aircraft clearly, but oops, I forgot this. And we may have to descend down to 3,000. gonna do an auto land. If it looks like it's going horribly wrong, I'll disconnect. This is not going great at all. This is not going great. It is going not great. The aircraft is struggling. Plane is struggling really hard. Let's begin to yeah, our vectoring was not the greatest. Our vectoring surely was not the greatest. Or maybe the aircraft is just acting up. All right, let's begin to reduce the speed. Let's arm the localizer. 2,500 feet should definitely give us a good enough chance.
2,500.
Okay, localizer is captured. Approach mode on now. Let's put the speed on managed. Groundnav show traffic on my sim. Yes, just like V pilot. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect from VATSIM now, so we can. I don't wanna. Okay, let's get the gas down, and let's do flaps 3 and go around altitude 3,000. The spoilers out, and flaps are out. Okay, let's disable the Groundnav so we can enjoy the landing.
2,000.
So fuel is projected to be 3.7 tons by the time we land. All right, let's the all is good, yeah. Now let's 20 knots of wind. I don't know how much better the latest sim update 6 really is, to be honest.
1,000.
How much better is it? Whoa. You know what? I'm just gonna bloody land myself.
500. 400. 300. 100 above. 200. Minimum
Continue.
100. 70. 60. 50. 40.
Oh no, we are at
20. Retard. 10. 5.
oh, this is what the hell kind of landing is this?
Auto brake off.
So if I get the app, truly arrived in English fashion on the left side of the road. I did just that exactly, and look at the landing analysis. It did say I was 21 feet to the left. That is accurate, but everything else was good. I was just shy of Commander Kanu. If I had landed on the center line, I would have gotten Commander. Damn it. Okay. You guys see? You guys see? Are you guys looking at your screen? So it knows I am flying a British Airways, and based on my aircraft, it's telling me that my parking is going to be in Terminal 5. And so in Terminal 5 from 501 to 596. So imagine this is my first time arriving at this airport, and I've never flown here before, right? So what I'll do is just click on show me routes. It has selected 537 for me automatically. If I like it, I can just click show routes and then look at the map. It has drawn a taxi path for me. Then all I have to do now is just follow the taxi path to where it will lead me. But let's get Terminal 530. What is wrong with the game? There you go. Oops. I just missed while I'm doing whatever the hell I was doing. I've missed my turn. What a demonstration this is, huh? So let's go be unprofessionals. We are about to be super unprofessional right now. of all the times I've been flying at this airport, I don't think I have ever gotten to this part of the airport. I doubt I've ever gotten to this part of the airport. Yeah, I missed my turn. Great job. Just great job. Okay, APUs can go out now. Welcome to London Heathrow, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. Okay. Let's get the APU bleed. So what's going to happen now is it's going to wait for me to off the engines. The engines, it also knows the state of the engines, right? So if I power off the engines now, and when the engines get to like -5, watch it. You see, it knows we have landed. So now it's asking me to log the flights. Now, if you look at this screen, there's a couple things happening. Lights off at. I am always failing this thing. I never get this right. I don't know what the hell this is all about. I never get it right. Anyway, if you look at what just happened right now, it is, look at the arrival stand or gate. It is 5:37, right? Arrival stand or gate 5:37. Look at the gate where we are, 5:37. So it knows the gate we just landed at. And now when I click log flight, now it has saved this particular plane. This plane with the registration GXWBC 8351,000. It knows now that let me turn on the beacon. Let me turn off the beacon. It knows that this plane is in London and it parked at stand 537. Right? So when I come back here now to my page, to my official, to my main Groundnav page. Let's bring this a little. Hold on. When I come to my main Groundnav page, you see today this flight has been updated, right? It took 45 minutes. And now if I go to flights, it is what is there. Okay, the flight paths is on the map. The total landing score, which is 93, still pretty good on the map. I can share this. You can click on share and then you can download it, or you can share it directly to any social media app you want. Then if you come to full debrief, you get more information. Look at the landing rate, 260. Now 260 is not the worst, but it could be better. That's why it's in yellow. And laterally, it's telling me I was off the center line by 21 feet. Okay, it shows the runway we landed, our final approach speed, and as far as the impact and landing stability and all that stuff, it's good, but it could be better. And then there is the flight track, the departure, vertical profile, and the arrival vertical profile. As you can see, this is the arrival of vertical profile all the way down. And then there is the fuel breakdown. Where is the fuel breakdown? Right, this is the fuel breakdown. The loaded fuel for the whole trip was 11.8 tons. And the plan was to use 4.5. But because we stayed on the ground for over 2 hours, we were longer than the window was supposed to take. So the wind changed. So what we actually burned was 7.471 kilograms of fuel. So we were 2.9 tons more than the original plan for this trip. There is nothing out there that tracks your fuel in real time. There is nothing out there. And now look at something interesting. Look at the engine oil check. Now it has 10 hours left. So if we do any medium hour flight, and if this goes red, this aircraft, I won't be able to fly it anymore. It will be pushed to, where's the maintenance page? To the maintenance page here. If I fly the aircraft for 7 more hours, it will turn red. What happens is it will be pushed to the hangar here, where it will need to go through a maintenance check and oil check. So that is the Groundnav app. More information will be coming on the app on the release day and the pricing and all of that stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I might make a separate video for these things I just showcased here on the live stream. But I was really, and if you do touch and go, does it recognize 2 landings? If you do touch and go, yes, it will. But you'll be punished, because now there is a go around. There is only a go around. There's a go around feature, but if you do touch and go, what is the purpose? Are you doing a training, or what is the purpose? Why was there a touch and go? It will rate you if you do touch and go and the tires touch the ground. It will rate you. You will get a rating based on that. Then if you get in the air again, it will recognize that you've gotten in the air, and it will switch to a go around, and then you would be rated again on the second landing. But you would get the landing of the first time your tire touched the ground. But yes, it will know you've gone back in the air, and it will switch to to go around. So that's it, guys. That's it. There's gonna be more. There's gonna be more coming. There's gonna be more information. Just wanted to let you guys in on what we've been building. It will be ready soon, pretty sometime next week, hopefully, God's willing. It will be available, and you guys will be able to test it for free. There is free trial, so you can just download it. You don't have to pay anything. Test it and download it, and if you think it's cool and it's awesome, which I'm confident it is, then you can then proceed to get any of the plans available. So thank you guys for watching. Wish you guys a great rest of your nights or afternoon or morning, wherever you're watching from, and I'll see you guys again. Thank you and bye bye.